guys, it's M4J here and welcome back to the Youthful Hatfield Town here on Football Manager 2020. It's been a while since I made a video in this series because of my PC problems, but I'm hoping things are fixed. Now, one thing I haven't checked yet actually is if I was to play music now, what would happen. So let's see if I get, do I even have my logo? Oh, I do. There it is. And then I'll get the music captions up in a second. I wasn't going to do music originally, but I think actually there's going to be a lot of times in this video where I'm just sitting there not really saying much. So let me see if I can get some music up as well. Also, I'm kind of stress testing my PC with this as well to see what it can and can't do now. What you wouldn't have seen between videos is my PC. Let me just get the settings. My PC completely in bits on my dining table as I was trying to fix it and make it work. So that was fun doing that, but it seems to have done the trick. I did just now have some media encoder overload issues, so I had to go and change some settings again and restart my PC, but I think that's something I'm going to have to just get used to doing. Let me see if the music works. So it should start playing on the other audio track. Let's have a look. No. Yes, it is playing. Right, good. And then hopefully if I hit this button here. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we're working. Things look to be in operational order. Hopefully you can hear the music. I might twiddle with the old audio tracks in the edit. I should also hopefully be recording onto two audio tracks. Yes, I am. And if I check this setting here, alright, good stuff. Everything should be working and in order. Let's go into a match and actually see what happens. This is still very much an experimental video. It may work, it may not. We will find out. But yeah, besides all that, what have I been doing off camera? So I've been continuing with the season. We have some new players who I should probably introduce you to as well. We've got some departures as well. But I might as well do that now. Also, I have a new monitor set up. So if my voice does sound a little bit different, it's because I'm craning my neck upwards to actually look at the screen and see what's going on. So that might change things as well. But here's all of our transfers in for the season, all of our transfers out for the season. In terms of outgoings, nothing really springs to mind. A couple of youth players. Ted Warman going to Macclesfield, that was a bit of a loss. And also, in fact, I think that was the only one that was a bit of a loss. I still miss having Waldron O'Rourke in the team, even though Tora Hole is doing well. You know, you want to keep your homegrown players for as long as possible. In terms of incomings, we have this guy here, Jonathan Rowe, who is basically our first choice left winger for the time being. Very good, got good dribbling, got good finishing, well, alright finishing for an inverted winger. Very good at passing, good technique. He's pretty quick, pace of 14, acceleration also of 14. 3-star, I need to ignore the star ratings from now. I might go in the scouting screen and actually turn off star ratings and just focus on the stats. Yeah, inverted winger or inside forward, he can play them both, which is very handy. Looking forward to seeing what he can do in matches. He has already grabbed a couple of goals for us actually. In the league, he's scored 5 goals in 22 games with 5 assists as well. So pretty good. Pretty good. He was the first arrival. As you can see, he's wearing the number 7 as well. Second arrival, Mason G, or Guy, our new goalkeeper. He has yet to hit the ground running, I would say. He has conceded 28 goals in 20 appearances. Not the greatest. Not terrible. I mean, he conceded 95 and 84 for Swindon. But yeah, the best is yet to come from him still, I believe. Next up, Tommy Nolan, new first choice left back. Very happy to get him over the line because I think he was someone who'd been released at the end of last season by like a Premier League club and Millwall, in fact, so Championship club. And I really wanted to bring him in. He kept rejecting, he kept rejecting, he kept rejecting. I've slowly wore him down and then he finally agreed to sign for us. So he's basically kicked Keith Mead out of the team for the time being. Make of that what you will, whether you think that's good or not. And then we have some loanees coming in. Dan Walker from Ipswich. Chris Matthews is back from Colchester on loan. He's covering for Basically, Micah hasn't turned out how I wanted, and Nixon's quite injury prone. So I think Matthews is going to be our first choice right back for the remainder of the season, and then we'll take stock and reassess at the end of the season. And then also Cosimo Trotter. I basically signed him for his name, but he does also happen to be a very versatile left-sided player. He can play left back and left midfield and left wing back and left attacking midfield. So very, very good indeed. And he's played for Charlton. I mean, what more can you want from the man? And yeah, that's ingoings and outgoings. In terms of the schedule, I'm really struggling to string some good run of results together. So you can see, you know, 3 wins, draw, loss. 2 wins, draw, loss on penalties. Win, loss, win, loss, win. 2 draws in a row, win, loss in the trophy again. Yeah, we lost on penalties in the cup to Darlington, which I wasn't too happy about. Oh, this is hurting my neck already. I barely started this video. Then win, 2 losses, draw, win, win. That was a good game against Kidderminster. And then a 4-2 loss here, which is disappointing. A really good 6-1 win against Cheltenham. That one we just went mental. King scored twice. Clemenshaw scored twice. He's our lone striker. He's actually turning into a bit of a gem. Actually, I'm quite happy to have him on board. And then a goal for Ekpyong and also a goal for Rowe. Then 2 defeats in a row. Play on words there, little pun. Hope you like that. Wasn't intentional. We got Solihull Moors at home first, then we got Chorley away, Macclesfield at home. We might even get to Dulwich away. But we're coming up towards the business end of the season, and despite the fact that I can't string results together, we are currently 5th in the table with potential to perhaps rise up to 3rd. Now, the way that the system works now in non-league, first place wins the league and obviously gets promoted automatically, so that would be York as it stands. 2nd and 3rd get through to the semi-finals of the playoffs. And then 4th plays 7th and 5th plays 6th, I believe it is, in the first preliminary playoff. And then the winner of those matches gets to face 2nd and 3rd, in the semi-finals. And then the winner of that gets to play in the final. So it's a little bit convoluted, but it kind of makes sense when you see it in action. It does make sense. I promise you guys, it does make sense. So as it stands now, we would be playing Stockport. I would prefer it, actually, I believe, if we would play Barnet, although Barnet beat us in the league. I don't know. I'd like to finish as high up the table as possible. This is our chance for promotion to the Football League. So I don't really want to F it up. Considering we only narrowly avoided relegation last season, this is a huge step up for us in terms of where we are in the football pyramid and everything. So this is a very, very good opportunity for us. But we do have to string some results together. So I'm hoping that where that is for the remainder of the season. I'm kind of coming into this with a different mentality. I'm always coming into a new episode with a different mentality. I really want to focus more on tactics and set pieces again, but at the same time I don't want to bore you guys with focusing only on tactics and set pieces. So bit stuck. Also, there is City Skylines music playing right now, but it seems to be really quiet for some reason. I don't know why. So apologies if you can't hear it. It's barely tickling the preview monitor right now. So you're probably wondering how I fixed the issue with my PC not recording properly. The answer is very, very simple. I listened to the right person who actually had the wrong tutorial in front of them, and the first thing they said was open OBS Studio. First thing I said was I don't use OBS Studio, I use Streamlabs OBS, and something suddenly clicked in my head of why don't you use OBS Studio and see if it works or not. So I loaded it up, it did a huge update, I did some test recordings, and it seemed to work fine. I did have some media encoding overload issues just now, which I talked about, so I had to restart my PC. And in fact, right now, I'm getting it again. That's not good. That's very not good. I might change my encoder, which I can also do on the fly. When I'm... Oh no, I can't anymore. Oh, that's new. Okay, you used to be able to change your encoder whilst you were recording, but you can't anymore. So hopefully it's not going to bugger up the recording. There's me talking about how I fixed the problem. I recorded 3 F1 videos yesterday though, without a single issue, so I don't know why Football Manager now is being a pain. And I also recorded 4 hours of City Skylines footage without there being an issue. So again, I don't know why Football Manager is now deciding to mess up. That can be quite annoying. It is quite a processor heavy game, to be fair, but although I am using the graphics card to do most of the legwork for this, so I really don't know. Maybe it'll lag, maybe it won't. Where am I in the timeline right now? Just coming up to 9.5 minutes where it lagged, so I'll check that out afterwards and see what happened, whether it actually lagged or not. Chances are it might have just dropped some frames. It might not have done anything too bad. I might move my switch box down there, just so I can keep an eye on the FPS monitor. Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see if that dips or not. Basically, OBS Studio, there's a bug or a glitch with it, which I am going to report because I think it needs to be dealt with. But for some reason, when I had that open, it was only using 1 core of my 6-core processor. So I was only ever using a maximum of 17% processing power, which, as you can imagine, is not ideal when you've got, you know, as much processing power as a processor can provide. So OBS Studio doesn't seem to have that problem. It seems to use as much as it needs. Like right now, the CPU usage for OBS is quite low because I'm using the graphics card, as I said. But when I was using the processor to record F1, it was actually doing it reasonably well. So I have no idea why now it's deciding to not work properly. But that's another problem that needs to be solved, apparently. Right, in terms of lineup, where's Ekpyong? I moved him out because he was tired. So I'm going to bring him back in for Smith, I reckon. So I think I'm going to do this. G in goal. Nolan, Boyle, Ekpyong, Matthews across the back. O'Neill, Taylor in midfield. Rowe, Wellens, King. And then Clemenshaw up front. It's all green. We've still got a little bit of a red area here. That might be a weakness that other teams are learning to exploit, but I'm not 100% certain. I doubt it. I don't know if the game's that smart. But Whitnall on the bench, Smith, Mead, Hole. Is it Tora Hola or is it just Tor Hole? I don't know. And Asengani making up the rest of the subs here. Now, actually, when I'm recording this, Football Manager 2021 has now been officially revealed, and some of the features have been revealed as well, courtesy of our good friend Spencer Owen. I'm a huge fan of the transfer meetings now that you would have at the start of every transfer window. That's something I've basically been asking for 3 years now in the game. So to actually see it come to fruition, I think is really cool. And the way that it's integrated as well, like you will actually tell your scouting team what sort of players, like you do that anyway, don't get me wrong, you tell your scouting team what sort of players you're after. But if you could do that with your DOF as well and actually get them to scout out certain players for you, and maybe even put in bids for certain players for you, that would be so cool. We'll see about that. It might be like the first step towards that becoming a reality. That's something else I like about Football Manager, is just because it doesn't happen in the first year doesn't mean it's not going to happen at all. So that's always awesome. It's done it again. Alright, formations. This is something I wish it wouldn't do, is when it resets. This might be a skin issue rather than a game issue, though. Let's have you be league table. You can be latest events, that's fine. Okay, so we've currently dropped to 6th, but I think that was before kickoff. So that's not the worst thing in the world. Tackle him. Didn't even put a challenge in. Lazy. So yeah, there's some of the other features that look quite good as well. The body language, that's a new addition, which I quite like, because, you know, you've heard me in my videos when I'm telling players to piss off. I can now do that in the game too with my body language. So that's going to be very, very handy indeed. And there are some other cool features as well, some of which haven't even been revealed yet. So looking forward to seeing what else the game offers. That's a really poor goal to concede. I put the blame on Nolan for that one. Oh wow, Ekpyong's condition as well. Has he been whacked? Look at this though. Nolan could have just put this ball into touch. Why he decided to play silly buggers with it there, I do not know. But that, not good. And I don't know why that guy in the middle wasn't being picked up either. Not good that. No excuses for that. Not good enough. Whitnall's been brought on for Ekpyong. O'Neill's dropped back into defence for some reason. I'd quite like to see those two swap places again, if possible, please, game. That was a weird clearance. So what's going on in the world of football right now? Project Big Picture is the big story right now. The Premier League, well, not even the Premier League, Manchester United and Liverpool decided that they could solve all the world's problems in one go, and in return all we had to do was sell our souls to the devil. So they wanted to give £250 million to the EFL to help support clubs during the coronavirus pandemic. And they also wanted to, I think it was 25% they wanted to contribute of all TV revenue going towards supporting the EFL from now on. But in return, they wanted way more control than any football team should ever be given regarding how a league is run. They wanted the power to vote on takeovers, like not even their takeovers, but takeovers of other football clubs in the Premier League. That should never be allowed. No club should be allowed to vote for another club's owners. That's a good goal, Clemenshaw. I just glossed over their second goal because it was really bad. It's good to see that we're starting to play football again. And a good assist here from Wellens. That's a really nice cross, actually. Got a bit lucky that it went off the keeper still, but good cross. Yeah, no club should be allowed to vote on the ownership of another football club. That's a big no, first and foremost. Second of all, they also wanted to have the power to vote for who's in charge of the Premier League. Again, no club should be allowed to do that. And this isn't every football club in the Premier League gets the chance to vote. This is the top 9. So the 9 longest serving Premier League clubs. Now, it's alright if Man United and Liverpool are saying this because they haven't been relegated for well over 20-30 years, so no danger there. In fact, I don't think Liverpool have ever been relegated. Manchester United have been relegated, would you believe it, in the past, but not since the 80s, I think it was. 84 springs to mind. I could be wrong there. But yeah, I'm really not a fan of the power that they want. I think it should be mandatory that at least 20% of all TV revenue from the Premier League should drip down into the Football League. Because most Football League clubs have at some point played in the top division. You have got ones like Stevenage, Macclesfield, Barrow where that's not been the case. But you look at clubs like Luton, Oxford. I'm going to throw Wimbledon in there as well because it's not the Wimbledon, it's AFC Wimbledon. But technically they sort of inherited the history of Wimbledon, so I will include them. And you've also got, Bournemouth, Watford, Swansea, Cardiff, teams who've been in the Premier League within the last 10 years, who are getting shafted now because of the TV revenue and the way it's distributed. So I think, first of all, I think the EFL TV deals should be worth a lot more money than they are. Second of all, I think the Premier League has way more money than it needs. If you think that, like, Sky pay £1 billion, whatever it is, every 4 years for the TV rights for the Premier League, if you get a fifth of that, £200 million, and throw that into the EFL, that will make a massive, massive difference. And what I liked about this is West Ham of all clubs. I'm not a huge West Ham fan. There's a lot that they do that I'm not particularly keen on. But I like the fact that they are one of the 9 clubs that would be protected by this rule, that the 9 longest serving Premier League teams would have all this power. So they would benefit from it, and yet they opposed it. And as it turned out, I think I don't know the exact voting, because I know it went to a vote, and I know that it was unanimously rejected. But I'd be very interested in seeing which clubs did vote yes and which clubs did vote no. Because I have a feeling the majority of the clubs would have voted no. Maybe only 2 or 3 would have voted yes. I would also like to know whether Man United and Liverpool voted yes or no, because I think the backlash was way more than they were expecting. They were literally asking to take control of the league in return for money. And they also offered £100 million to the FA, which some people have said basically equates to a bribe. I don't think it does as such. I think it's more of a goodwill gesture. And you've got to be careful what you say, of course, these days. I don't think they were trying to bribe anyone particularly, but I also don't think that it's a wise move to offer money in return for something like that. I think it's ill-advised more than anything. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. I was heavily opposed to the scheme. As a fan of both the Premier League and Football League club, I know that Stevenage would have benefited from it, but I know Newcastle would have been shafted. Particularly as there's a lot of rumour about the Newcastle takeover and who actually vetoed it. Was it the Premier League or was it the Big Six in the Premier League? I think it was a bit of both myself. And the fact that they now want control over who's allowed to take over certain clubs, it kind of points more towards the fact that they vetoed it as well. And you know what Liverpool are like. Anytime someone does something that Liverpool doesn't like, they try and stop them doing it. And I hate Liverpool for that. So yeah, it's a thorny subject. I know some people were very much in favour of some of the proposals. And there were lots of proposals within the plan that I thought were really good ideas. But that whole money and power thing just made it left a bad taste, really. I wasn't a huge fan of that at all. Oh wow, the guy got sent off for that. Huh. Wasn't expecting that to happen. I think we need to capitalise on this. We got Asengani out there. I think we need to go to a 4-2-4. So let's switch to that. Asengani should go up front with Clemenshaw. And then Welland's on the left. King on the right. Still got the two midfielders. That's a good goal. Yes, O'Neill. That's a good goal. First goal of the season. What a time to score it. Tommy Nolan making up for his cock-up in the first half to create a good scoring opportunity there. That's a hell of a cross. That's a hell of a cross. And look at that. Huge gap in the middle. Boom. Right, maybe... I will still change the formation. Might as well. Clemenshaw was about 60 miles offside there. So I'm glad it didn't come to him. He went for it as well. He had a little sniff at it then. Why have we gone 4-2-3-1 again? There we go. Now, Welland should swap with Asengani if he knows what's good for him. Or is he going to be selfish? I think he's going to be selfish. Alright, O'Neill. That's a very nice slide rule pass. King needs to whip it. No, first time cross. First time cross. No, he took too long. By the time the ball comes in, the defence is ready for it. He should have just... That was a great ball from O'Neill. Deliberately overhit it slightly so that it had to be pulled back. All King had to do was cross it. But he didn't. I would like to know why they've got a number 6 up front. Mitchell Rose, by the looks of it. Why is he wearing number 6? He is a striker, if I recall. Just don't know why he's wearing that number. Okay, I might need to change this formation in the match plan because it's a bit derpy. Ooh, we nearly scored then. I think at this point... Hang on, let's not get too excited here. I think at this point I'm going to switch back to... Let's go aerial. Put some more long balls forward and test their defence. I think I left it too late. Yeah, I've left it too late. Ah, balls. Okay. Not a good start to the video. Another loss. Don't think the board are going to hate me. I got a B-, I think, in the last board update. Oh, God, I saw the red then and I worried. No, it's okay. It's Brunt. Throwing his toys out the pram. Ekpyong. 5 to 6 weeks with a calf strain. Not ideal. We are going to leave to physio and I'm going to tell him. Okay. I don't know why they react bad. I don't know why players are conditioned in this game to react badly to good feedback. It's a mystery. I genuinely don't know. But it does mean that Mr. Davey is going to get a recall for the next game. I might move Nixon back into right back and rest Matthews. Nolan. Where is Mead? I think I've still got him. Yeah, there he is. I'm going to swap him in as well. I know Nolan did a good cross for the goal, but he also whiffed it for their goal. So we'll make some changes here. I'm going to move Dan Walker into right midfield because I'm really not impressed with King right now, and he doesn't particularly like me much right now either. So we'll do that. And I think we'll leave it at that for now. I'm tempted to maybe bring Addy back in at left midfield because he's done nothing wrong. It's just he got injured. Rowe came in at the right moment and has played well. So, and I do like the idea of having one winger who cuts inside onto their other foot and, you know, hits in swingers rather than out swingers. Kind of adds an extra element to the team. I would like having wingers who can swap sides as well. That might be something for Premier League team to focus on. I would like to get Hatfield to the Premier League still in this series before the next game comes out. It's just because the database took a little bit longer to come out this year because of some of the changes they made to the editor, which is fine. You know, I'm not complaining. But hopefully this year it will come out a little bit quicker, and then we can crack on with the Hatfield save a little bit earlier. Oh yeah, King wanted to join Fleetwood, and I kept rejecting bids for him, so he got angry at me. He got very, very angry. I think I rejected like 3 bids in a row because they were all like piss takes. 10,000, 12,500. I think they went up to 15,000 at one point. I nearly got a nosebleed with how high they were offering, but not good enough for me, I'm afraid. My players are worth a little bit more money than that. My priority right now is trying to tie down Ekpyong to another contract because he's not interested right now either. Oh, there's another video about headline features for FM21, so I'm going to have to watch that after I finish recording. Looking forward to that though. I criticise FIFA a lot for not really changing much year in, year out. And Football Manager doesn't change that much, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like the game completely changes year by year. But they change enough to warrant it, in my opinion, to warrant a new game each year. And they do... They have like 2 tiers of new introductions. They have the polished features. And then they have like the introductory features. So I still look at things like Sports Scientists and... what was the other one? Data analysts. When they first brought those in, they were just like empty shell roles in the team, and people weren't really sure what they were for. But they introduced the role a year early, and then the next year they actually like fleshed it out and turned it into a proper role that staff actually fulfill and benefits the club. And I kind of like the way they did that, because they could have rushed it and tried to get it in the first year. It might not work properly. But I like the fact they took their time and had some patience in it and actually... oh dear, I've dropped to a C+. That's not very good. They actually took the time to make it work, make it functional, and they brought it in 2 phases. So we got used to the idea of the position, and then the next year they actually made it work. And I think they do that really, really well. And I like the way they do that. And I'm not like arse-kissing too much, I hope. But it's kind of an example of how to do it correctly. Siege do it as well. You know, Ubisoft do it with Siege, where they might introduce a feature partially, and then they'll introduce it completely at a later date. The Tachanka rework, for example, that was announced and it was meant to come out with Shadow Legacy, but it was delayed because of Corona. So they did the right thing. They didn't try and rush it. They came out and said, you know, it's going to be a little bit late, guys, but hopefully it'll be worth it. And I think it's worth it from what I've seen. I think it looks awesome. I'm very much looking forward to playing Siege again. I'm still waiting for match replays before I get into Siege again, so I can record those 2 matches, or hopefully record those 2 matches that I want you guys to see. Do you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to put Morris on the bench, so if we do go to an aerial... Sorry, Asengani, you've done nothing wrong, pal, but options. Carlton Morris actually scored against Stevenage for MK Dons the other day, so I nearly released him after that, but I thought, no, that's petty, Mark, don't do that. So I kept him on. But yeah, I'm going to have this as our lineup. See how we do. We might whiff it. You never know. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new features of FM21. I think they look really cool. Just the headlines like end of season meetings and stuff. Looks like that's being changed. The transfer window stuff I think is really, really cool. Why has this messed up again? Come on. Crying out loud. It's not difficult to make it work, is it? Or it shouldn't be. Right, free kick to Chorley. Did the keeper save that? Oh, excuse me. Stifling sneezes. My hay fever's playing up as well, which doesn't help. It's October. Why have I still got hay fever? I haven't had hay fever for years and years and years, and then I get it at really stupid times. Yeah, that was a bad free kick, defence-wise. We just didn't pick up that guy on the edge of the box. That's a nice ball. That's a nice goal. That's what I'm talking about. Clemenshaw again. 10th of the season. Nixon with a great little dink over the top. It's what I do on FIFA all the time. Throw it forward, knock it back, flick it over the top. Great first touch, and look at that. Tightest of angles, and he still found the net. Uber good goal there. That lifts us back up into 5th, and for the first time in what feels like an eternity, I've actually taken the lead in the match. Although again, I really don't like our pedestrian defending. Why are we standing off them so much? At that point, if he's running perpendicular to the goal like that, you just need a defender to take the initiative, run out and absolutely clatter him. As long as they get the ball, it'll teach him not to do it again as well, which is good. Taylor with the shot, keeper palms it over. If the games are looking a bit stuttery on the video, it's not necessarily OBS playing up because it's quite stuttery on my screen too. Just to let you know. It might well be because of that. Right, we need to get back because it's... Oh no, we do outnumber them. Again, challenge. Need to put in some challenges to try and win the ball back. Any second now, lads. They're just passing it round us. What's going on? Get rid. Oi, oi, oi. Not a fan of that. And the league table's popped up under manager feedback again. That's just perfect, isn't it? Okay, Boyle with a free kick. Goes along to Clemenshaw. Good takedown. Actually, good pick out as well from Boyle, to be fair. That didn't look like a hit and hope. That looked like a measured pass. Taylor messing around with it. Somehow coming through. Oh! Hit the post. Rebound. Hit the post again. And then he scores. Whew! I thought he wasn't going to put it in then. We're surely in the league. They're not in the top half. So this should be an easy win. Look at this though. He held on to the ball for so long here. That number 7 was desperate to get it back. Hits the post. Oh, the keeper saved it that time. And then he finally thumps it in. Oh man, though. I was worried then. I was worried. That's half time. No subs so far. We're doing really well, in fact. There's no reason to make subs when you're doing this well. I need to change this again because it's going to do my sodding head in if I don't see that feedback. Because I don't tend to... Seriously, game? Seriously, game? Okay, I think the skin's broken. I might have to look at getting a new skin. One that isn't broken. Right, Whitnall heads it to Taylor, knocks it down to Nixon, back to Taylor, back to Nixon, back to Taylor, to Davey. It's a good play. Finds Walker out wide. He's got time to run with it if he wants. Finds Hole, who came on for Wellens. Whitnall on for O'Neill. And Morris on for Rowe, which is interesting. Good defending. But, I mean, that's the best type of defending, where you don't even have to make a tackle. You just step in front of them and take control that way. Good play. Clemenshaw's come a long way back to defend that as well. That's very interesting. I don't know why he decided to come so far back, but it nearly worked. He nearly got it back. Come on, 15 minutes to go. Let's try and grab a third, shall we? Forced the mistake. That's kind of a mistake. Whitnall out wide. I think Clemenshaw's going to be offside. No? He couldn't control it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Win that. Back to keeper. Back to keeper. That's it. That's it. Good play. Out wide. Wide right. No? Gonna go wide left. Who the hell was that to? Oh no, you've got to win those. Oh dearie me. You've got to win those headers. Can't let him shoot there. Not ideal, lads. Not ideal. Come on, we can't blow it now, surely. 2-0 up with 8 minutes to go. Morris on the ball. Walker in acres on this side. That's it. Hit it. Hit it. Yes! Come on. First goal for the club. That is a counter-attack, if ever I saw one. Look at that. 3 of us, 4 of us in their half, and only 3 of them. Good first touch. Bit heavy, but it made the keeper come off his line, which might have been the intention, in fact. And then just slot it in the bottom corner there. C'est magnifique. One more for luck. Ooh, hole with the shot. Nearly, nearly. 3 minutes of injury time. This should be a nice wrapped up win now. So Chorley are... Didn't even see there. Wait to the next screen. Nice 3-0 win. I'm happy with that. Chorley are 21st, so we should have won that, to be fair. And yeah, good play Taylor. I'm not going to congratulate him too much, because we're still in the position where we shouldn't be gloating. We've got Macclesfield now, who don't exist anymore. Macclesfield Town have gone out of business. However, Macclesfield FC have stepped up and replaced them. Same stadium and everything, same fan base I imagine, but new ownership and a new restructuring. I'm not 100% a fan of that, because I do think the club is now running away from its debts by doing that. But speaking as a football fan, I think every football fan deserves to have a club, you know, that exists, basically. So I'm happy for them, but I do think it's a bit sketchy when a club just rebrands and somehow gets away from all responsibility. That's just my opinion, though. Anyway, Macclesfield are 8th. So a nice win against them. We could actually go... If we win by 7 goals, we can go up to 3rd in the table. I reckon we'll get to 4th, though, because that is quite an ask. So we currently are on 64 points with a goal difference of plus 13. Dover are on 67 points and a goal difference of 20. Whereas Yeovil are on a goal difference of 13 as well. So we could go as high as 4th. We shall see. Rowe didn't play very well in that last game, so I think he's worth a dropping. And actually, yeah, this is... I mean, some of our players there were from the B team. So imagine if we played our full-strength team. Imagine if we had, like, Ekpyong in defence, for example. We probably would have smashed them. I'm almost regretting not putting Asengani up front, because he's scored some belters recently. Don't let the star rating fool you. I know it says only 2.5 stars for Asengani, but he has been very, very good for us still this season. Maybe not as good as in previous seasons. I don't know what his goal tally is. I'll check that, actually. Also, my squad is massive. I do need to trim the squad. Asengani. 17 goals in 25 appearances. Sorry, 17 goals in 34 appearances. So a goal every 2 games, which is... That's his best ratio for us so far. It's only his 2nd season at this level, so I'm very, very impressed. Very impressed. I'm just going to grab my drink quickly as well, because it's quite hot and dry in my room today. Quite stuffy. Oh. Some people might like the ASMR that comes from that. I don't know. Boy, did I need that, though. Okay, team selection advice for Macclesfield. This is what I don't like, though, because they're basically telling me to drop players mostly because they're tired. So they want Matthews in at right back. I'm tempted. Davey and Smith, and then Nolan at left back. Brunt, Whitnell. I might bring Brunt in for Taylor. Taylor on the bench, and then Walker, Hoare, Hoare? No, not Hoare. Hull, Asengani, and then Clementshaw up front. Okay, let's do some tweaking. So where's Brunt? I'm gonna put Brunt on the bench. Actually, O'Neill needs a rest, so I'm gonna put Brunt in for O'Neill, and he's gonna play the Misea role. In terms of the defence, I'm going to bring Nolan back in. All's forgiven there. And I am going to bring Addy in for Rowe. And we'll see how that goes. I was impressed with Walker, though. He defied expectations, because I think the last time he played for me, he didn't have a particularly good game. Yeah, I'm not going to discuss selection policy, because he was already in the squad before the question was asked, so I don't want to make it look like he was brought in just because the question was asked. That's a sign of weakness. We don't do weakness here at M4J. We're nothing but strong. Also, we have a huge gap between matches after this, so that'll be interesting. Might have to put some friendlies in. 2 weeks. It's like when there's a 2-week gap between F1 races and I'm just sobbing quietly to myself that weekend, wondering what I'm going to do with my life. Alright, here we go. Macclesfield at home. Oh, kits. That was the other thing I was going to mention. So not this season that we're in now, but for the next season. I have recruited someone who's going to help me make new kits for Hatfield, and I can't wait to see what they look like. I can't wait to show you guys what they look like as well. My kit design is getting better and better with each season. And I think whichever kit we finish this series with, we're going to start next year's with as well. But we'll see about that. That's not decided yet. Okay. I feel a bit mean leaving out Rowe, but he didn't do very well against Chorley. And no offence to Chorley, but when you're playing a team that low down in the league and you've got a player who puts in a bad performance, then questions need to be asked. So here we go. First opportunity of the game, and it's a Macclesfield free kick, which again they've done the short option, but we have countered it this time. And that is a great ball from Addy to Walker. Could this turn into a goal for us? No, because he's kicked it straight at the keeper's face. Nearly though. Good smart play from Addy there. Very smart play from Addy. Impressed with that. We might get a replay of it in a second. Brunt with the corner. That was a good whip on that one. Wellens plays it out wide to Walker, who tried to square it. I think that was a shooting opportunity. Yeah, here's the chance. So Addy, great first touch. Look at that. Walker, no chance of him being offside because he was in our half. And the defender was goal side of him anyway, but still. Unlucky. He might not be the most composed with one-on-ones. And you wouldn't expect a winger to be that composed at one-on-ones, to be fair. So I'm not going to knock him for that. He was in the right place at the right time to have the opportunity in the first place. What a goal, Zach Brunt. I knew as soon as he was shaping to shoot then, I just knew that was going top corner. Get in. Come on. That lifts us above Yeovil, who it looks like Yeovil are losing as well. So that's very, very nice. Bang. Look at that. Through a huge crowd of players. Keeper saw it late. Great stuff. Oh, what a goal. I enjoyed that perhaps a little too much. I don't know. Can you enjoy a goal like that too much? I don't think you can. I think it's just a great goal. So we're up to 4th. That's what I find weird about this season. It feels like we're having a bad season whenever I lose a game. And yet we're 4th. I'd like to be top. Don't get me wrong. But I did say at the start this would be the season where we don't get promoted via winning the league. We'd have to do it the hard way. And it seems to be correct so far. Also, no reloads. If we lose in the playoffs, we lose in the playoffs. That's just set in stone now. I like the challenge. Although if that does happen, I might play a season, like most of the next season off camera, and then just come back towards the end if we're in a promotion playoff. Or promotion hunt, I should say. Just so we're not doing the same thing, because this will be our 3rd season in non-league if we don't get promoted. Oh, if that had gone in. Okay, it was offside. If that had gone in, though. Unselfish play there from Clemenshaw. Who's he on loan from? Aston Villa springs to mind. I don't think he's a Villa player. He is a Villa player. Well, I think he's a Villa player. I don't think he's a West Brom player. Is Brunt going to shoot? Ooh, okay. Keeper should have left that. That was going wide. Interesting. Now, Boyle on corners. I'm not sure I like that. But that is a good corner. Foul by Clemenshaw. Not a fan of that either. Coming up to half time. 1-0. I'll take that so far. So far so good. Any bad performances so far? Well, Brunt obviously man of the match so far. I think that's justified. Worst performer is Walker, of all people, with a 6.5. I'm guessing that's because of the one-on-one that he missed. Clemenshaw on a 6.6 as well. Interesting. Interesting. Restricting them to long shots. Clemenshaw hasn't been hitting the target today. Boyle and Davey have been dominant in the air. I'm always cautious saying that though. Clemenshaw also dominant in the air. Defend this, guys. Was it Clemenshaw with the foul? I think it was. Save it. Come on, G. Save it. Ah, completely the wrong way. Oh, he dived in a different postcode. That's how far off he was. I guess when you're a goalkeeper, you've just got to pick a direction and stick to it. I mean, he dived before the guy even hit it, so he made his mind up for him. Alright, back to the drawing board. Morris is on. Walker off. Brunt with the corner. Penalty to us. Yes. O'Neill taking a dive there. John Richardson with the foul. Spelt differently, but, you know, I could just imagine him going, but ref, I didn't push him. Talking about the comedian John Richardson, by the way, in case you don't know. Morris with the penalty then. Oh, I thought the keeper had saved that then. Apparently he blasted it home. Only his second goal of the season. Oh yeah, no, he thunderbolted that one. Fair enough. Fair play, fair play. Now we're going into the smiley face because we're coming up towards the end. So Smith has also come on. Taylor's gone off. Brunt with the cross. He's played well, to be fair, Brunt. I think I need to rotate the team more. Maybe that's my new mentality now. To actually look at who you've got in the team rather than just look at their star rating. Because it is a little misleading, I'll be honest. Wellens across to O'Neill. Dinks it forward to Morris. Out to Nolan. Crossing opportunity. Yes! Addy with a finish. What a goal that is as well. Nolan can cross a ball. Good play from Clemenshaw. He drew the defenders towards the goal and opened up the space for Addy to sort of ghost at the back post. Actually, he didn't do that at all. Addy just peeled off. Maybe it wasn't a great cross. Maybe we just got lucky that Addy was there. He's not offside. Get off it. That's just a bloody good goal. Happy with that. Very happy with that. Right, no sending offs now, please, because I'd like to have a full squad roster for next game. Brunt should have intercepted that. We have still got 10 minutes to go, lads. Alright, good defending. Nolan up the line to Morris. Over the top. Couldn't quite pick out Clemenshaw, but Wellens is there. Pick up the dirty seconds. Finds Addy. Strong run. Oh, bad shot. Strong run, though. There's a feature that I saw suggested. I'm just looking at the tactics where it said Nixon's been booked. Might want to tell him to ease off tackles. It should be part of the match plan where if a player's been booked, it automatically tells them to ease off. And so you don't have to manage it manually. Because I think if I went into the tactics screen now and told him to ease off, that it would actually cancel the match plan. Which, again, match plans get improved with each and every year. So I'm not having a go at that necessarily. But it is kind of annoying when you have to kind of go in and reset it. Like, I can't tweak anything in the tactics without it cancelling the match plan. I think that's something they need to fix for future editions. Anyway, good result. A nice 3-1 win. That lifts us up to 5th, unfortunately, because Dover also... No, wait, Dover were ahead of us. Stockport must have won. Yeah. They were on 65, weren't they, at kickoff, and now they're on 68. So that makes sense. But we're hunting them down. We're only a point behind them. And I'm sure at one point we were like 6 points behind the third place. So we are closing the gap, which is good to see. But yeah, hopefully this video has come out okay. I did see the the overload encoder message come up a couple of times, so there's a chance that it might be a little bit finicky in places, but I'd like to think I've got a pretty stable recording, and if that is the case, then I'm very much looking forward to continuing with this new recording style and hopefully producing some better quality videos for you guys. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if it is better or not, and besides that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series. Drop some comments down below with ideas for tactics, signings, transfers, all that good stuff. I mean, signings are transfers. I always say those three though. Power of three. And besides all that, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.